Is there going to be a family row, do you think, over this? Well, we're cutting into that to bring you the results. Here they are.
Has been awarded to Marcantonio Barone.
Well, Jane, Marcantonio Barone from America, who played the Rhapsody on the theme of Paganini.
I think you might be quite disappointed with that, Michael, and I have to say I'm slightly surprised that he came quite as low as that. But of course, the competition was very fierce.
Yes, I thought he played the Rhapsody rather well, and in fact much better than I'd expected on the strength of his semi-finals and previous rounds.
The fifth prize, including the William Pitts Memorial Prize to Hugh Tinney.
Hugh Tinney from Ireland, and he of course played Beethoven. Would you have had him around there, Jane?
No, I don't think I would, Michael. I'm surprised about that too. I think it's a really very special Beethoven that he played this evening.
The fourth prize, including the Dorothy Hess Memorial Prize to Boris Berezovsky.
Well, that's very interesting. Berezovsky from the Soviet Union, tipped by some to take first prize. He, of course, chose, rather surprisingly, Beethoven. Jane?
Yes, well, this young man really has got an enormous amount of talent. He's only 18. He's a very, very natural player. As we can see, the Duchess was very keen on his playing too. And
Tatiana Nikolaeva, the Russian judge just behind her, obviously thrilled to see her fellow countryman doing so well. He's a charming young man. He has a very shy smile, despite the fact he sometimes looks rather severe.
The third prize, donated by the Gulbenkian Foundation to Noriko Ogawa.
Noriko, who is 25, comes from Japan, and she played the Prokofiev third piano concerto.
I would say that's a very fair result. It was a beautiful performance of the Prokofiev last night. And I should think she'd probably be quite pleased with that. She gets quite a lot out of it.
Of course, that's very interesting, because it means that Munro is still left in there, and he also played the Prokofiev.
That's true.
And Ovchinnikov is there too, so it's between those two now.
The second prize, donated by Marjorie and Arnold Ziff to Ian Munro.
Well, Ian Munro from Australia, age 24, played the Prokofiev like Noriko. Jane?
Well, good for him.
You were a bit surprised by that,
I'm slightly surprised by that, just a little. But it was a very, very moving performance, certainly.
One sometimes felt earlier in the competition that this was a very competent pianist, but didn't quite catch light. I think with Simon, things began to happen. They seemed to get on well, and I think he enjoyed playing a concerto.
And he certainly listened a lot to the orchestra. He was very much involved with the piece as a whole, rather than with the keyboard in front of him.
Well, that brings us to the announcement for the winner.
And I'm sure you all know who is the winner of the 1987 Harvey's Leeds International Pianoforte Competition, Vladimir Ovchinnikov.
Ovchinnikov from Russia wins the 1987 Leeds International Piano Competition with his performance of Rachmaninoff's Second Piano Concerto. I think a very just result, Jane.
A very just result. I think everybody here would agree with that. And the man is a comic as well, as we've just seen from those delightful facial expressions. A good result.
Well, Peter Donahoe's old sparring partner back in Moscow took joint second prize in the Moscow and now takes the first prize at Leeds. But I feel that that's a very good musical result. He's in a very good position to start on this very difficult career. Berezovsky in 5 years might well be in the same position, but not now.
I think that's right, Michael. He's got the experience and the confidence, and as you say, that he's just absolutely ready to take it. It's an extremely good result.
I think Simon Rattle will be very pleased by that. I know he wanted Berezovsky to win. I mean, Ovchinnikov. much though he liked Berezovsky too. But that was very much his feeling, that Berezovsky was perhaps not quite ready, whereas Ovchinnikov was taking a lot of risks. Now the Duchess is being presented with a little bouquet. Well, I think that's brought us to the end of our coverage of Leeds. I would just like to remind you that it's worth remembering that, as in the past, this evening's runners-up could also go on to do great things. I'm sure some of them will. I think we've all found the time we've spent here in Leeds, most intriguing and absorbing. From Leeds Town Hall, good night from me and Jane Glover, as we leave you with the closing bars of the Rachmaninoff Second Piano Concerto, played by Vladimir